The ugly duckling. On the first morning of spring, the sun shone radiantly in the courtyard, and the mother duck celebrated the arrival of the most beautiful season of the year by watching her eggs begin to hatch. One by one, all the ducklings broke to the shells and stuck out their little yellow heads. Their mother was so happy with them all, but wait, not all of them. There was an egg in the corner, strangely larger than the others, that had not yet hatched. The other animals in the stable came in to visit the new family.
Sit on it a little longer and keep it warm. See if it hatches,
suggested the goose. Alright, I'll try. It's hardly a difficult job.
The hard part comes later,
answered the duck as she placed herself on the egg. After a while, she felt a movement, and with all the other animals looking on, she got off the egg and saw her last baby finally begin to break the shell. Gradually the egg cracked, and at last, all the animals jumped back on seeing the final duckling. It was huge, with an enormous head and untidy feathers. They all looked at each other in astonishment. "The last one's ugly," said one of the pigs with a laugh. "The ugly duckling," said another. Seeing the frightened face of the poor baby, the mother duck went to him and wrapped him in one of her wings.
"He's my baby, and we love him as much as any of them,"
she said proudly. The duckling smiled contentedly, but his happiness was short-lived. His siblings were jealous, and the nickname, Ugly Duckling, had stuck with the other animals. When the duck moved away, they all went up to him, and his siblings began to taunt him. When they swam in the pond, they tried to drown him, and when he tried to fly, they jumped on him so that he could not learn.
The time passed, and the duckling continued to feel different from his siblings. The animals called him ugly, make jokes about his appearance, and tease him. They made him suffer so much that the ugly duckling decided to leave. "I will be alone and frightened, but nothing can be worse than this farm," he thought as he disappeared, with tears in his eyes. The ugly duckling walked and walked for days, weeks, and months through the countryside. The summer passed, then the autumn, and then the winter. The duckling felt lonely and unhappy, but because he was so ugly, he fled from any animal he saw to avoid being laughed at. One day, he woke up and looked around him and saw that the sun was shining, the flowers were opening, and the birds were singing. Spring had arrived. He very much wanted to feel happy, and so he decided to look for a lake and take a dip. Soon, he saw a distant pond where a group of animals were swimming. They looked like the dogs from the farm, but they were different. They were bigger, with long necks, and swam around the lake with an elegance he had never seen before. One of them saw him and shouted, "What are you doing over there? Come and play! Don't be shy! Are you speaking to me?" The ugly duckling could not believe anyone would speak to him unless it was to make fun of him. "Of course I am, but I'm an ugly duckling and nobody loves me." "What do you mean, an ugly duckling? Come over to the water and look at yourself." He slowly approached the edge of the pond until, wow! He saw his mate reflected in the water, and he looked like the other animals in the pond. "You see, you're some like me," his new friend shouted. The ugly duckling discovered why he was so different from other animals. He had grown in and now he was a beautiful swan, with a slender neck and a long shiny coat. He jumped into the water and joined the group. Happy in the company of his own kind, he spent the rest of his life splashing around and providing the marvelous spectacle for the passers-by who came over to watch the farm's most elegant animals swimming around.